playing solo, and he's been playing over towards that B-side platform. He's got a pretty gnarly smoke hanging out over there on that B platform, so expect to see that. So keep your eye on him. And as well, Steel has also picked up a little bit of an extra role in addition to being an in-game leader and also lurking on this map, is sometimes he ends up on entry. Not so much on Mirage, but when we see him play on Inferno, for example, he's through and through, been really good on entry.
Yeah, that Inferno matchup yesterday, you definitely saw him prodding into that B side, being the first on the scene. That was great out of him towards that area. And on Mirage, yeah, he's more of that lurk towards B, creating presence, creating a little bit of instability within the CT defense.
Yep, and another one to watch out for is Wardell. However, he does start a little cold and then starts to heat up. And yesterday we actually saw him when he was playing. He was almost overconfident to the point that it was looking a little cocky at that point, but he was still picking up frags. So there's a difference in being like a player that can get into these really hyper-aggressive positions with an op, but you lose those fights, and it's like, okay, you're really getting a little out of control. But Wardell's being able to get into those spots, play super aggressive in mid on overpass, and just dominating. But we'll see. Hopefully, if Wardell can end up starting off at a pretty moderate temperature, then he can end up having a pretty solid impact early on in this game.
Okay, so we've spoken about the Ghost players. On the Liquid side, then, who's your players to watch?
Twists.
Twists? It's only going to be Twists?
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what we've seen so far with Liquid, we haven't even really been able to sample size it all that well. Their game against Lazarus was a complete blowout. We didn't get to see too much action there. I think it was like 14-1 or 13-2 in one of those halves, and then there was just a quick second half to round out the game. So we didn't see too much action, but when we did see Liquid play against Complexity, and Complexity took cash off of Liquid, we saw a lot of action from both sides, but Stewie, I think, is the player that needs to pick it up a little bit. And when we were talking about those little ecosystems in this Pro League situation right now, with the LANs having as it is, Stewie was having a little rough start.
Yeah, he was definitely more quiet than his Liquid members, right?
Yeah,
but
usually so.
When your team's just going through groups as easily as they have been, right, someone's going to be quiet. First it was Twist, then it became Stewie, but it does look like pistol round's underway as Nav starts it off with a kill on Takusta.
And we are underway, yes. Liquid, CT side, Twist gets one, Nap gets one as well as they entry into this A site, and it's just a string of bodies and a string of destruction that Liquid have left, as Ghost primarily came in through that A main side and just left a little bit of a blood trail that's now been mopped up and ready for the second round. And what we've seen so far, historically, Ghost has always gone for that little second round force buy, but against the Team Liquid, you might can be a little bit more conservative.
Actually, they're going to not be conservative here. They're going to buy the pistols, they're going to buy the armor, they're going to get everything they need to buy up into this round. They're going to be going at Liquid here head on, attempting to tie this one up right off the bat.
They have had success on these force buys. This time they're going to go try and gamble over towards B. Some smokes early coming down, some flashbangs as well. Nitro is going to dump a Molotov. No, it's actually a smoke right at the base of the window, but he's going to get flanked. There is some support coming in, but he has lost his initial bout. Coming in, Naf's able to get two. Can the bomb get planted? It is starting to go down. It appears so, but it's actually been pulled off. 2v3 right now. Ghost Gaming a little bit nervous about putting that bomb down at first. Grenade over and past Neptune. Hit them for about 40 damage. Ghosts just need to be able to leverage their manpower. It's down to a 1v2 for Twist, and he knows exactly where Kusta is. He ducks in behind the bench, but at 21 HP, surprisingly, Twist goes with his... Oh, no, HE. That's going to bang off the backboard and blast Kusta out of that bench.
Yeah, it was a great idea from Ghost there, Dallas, to actually rush into that B bomb site, and in doing so, they actually catch Nitro in the middle of a nade throw, and that's actually going to allow them now to just push into that site after they take down Nitro. The retake from Naf, who was positioned in the marketplace, couldn't happen right away, so the Ghost Gaming members get set up, they get into position for that post-plant scenario, and then Liquid comes in with a great retake of their own to get their second on the board.
Yeah, it wasn't a great retake. Naf on Catwalk really saved him there because he got 2 kills.
Yeah, he got 2.
And he was able to at least recover what was lost initially on your first defender there that was well behind the site. He got flanked and died without doing too much of anything. So it ends up being an even trade after Naf is able to pick up 2 kills, and at even strength with Liquid winning the pistol round, have that weapons and utility advantage. You saw the HE coming at the end of the round. Excellent nade to top mid right now. And Ghost right now, ears are ringing, but Wardell has his first frag, and he's got that with the AK as well. So now Ghost have their first opportunity of having a man advantage with some time to work with as well. So this is still early on.
It does look like Ghost has made their way out towards that A bomb site. His Twist does take down Kusta. It's going to be steal onto Naf. He does TK Neptune, but he's also going to get Twist in the process.
Triple.
So they're going to be happy about that one. All onto Nitro now with that MP9, and he's able to find steal. But what more can he do here? Very low HP left.
Yeah, Steele just paid for his sins. Nitro with an MP9 at range takes him out. And the bomb has to be recovered, and if you look at this, interestingly so, Wardell is top ladder. So he ends up working this flank out, and with Nitro not going back through CT, they knew exactly where he was. If Wardell didn't see him in that spot, he might look around a little bit while he's in the ladder, and then they would decide, okay, he's definitely in CT side. Then they could grab that bomb comfortably because they know the rotation wouldn't have been quick enough, and it might have actually thrown it to the B site. So I think Ghost, with the intelligence that they have, would have been able to discern that, but instead we just see just knuckle, meat, and face, and that's the end of the round. So Ghost pick up their first, and they've got an advantage, though Liquid aren't going to give it up quite yet. Pistol and armor.
Ghost looking towards this B bomb site to start the round very early. It's actually going to be a rush right in, led by Kusta right now as he jumps out the window, not seeing anybody initially, but he's into the site.
Yep. Kusta wrapping around. This is the identical to Pistol, or the second round strat from Ghost. 3 and 3 right now, both teams, but AKs are supreme. Twist was able to get a deagle shot out there. It's going to be cleaned up by Elige. Overkill at that 2v2, but there's plenty of weapons for Liquid to be able to pick up on this B site if they choose, but they are still a little bit wary about what's going on over there. Bomb's made its way to the A site, and close to rotate is Stewie already.
Yeah, we are going to see one of the Ghost players moving back to Tetris and Steel here. Another player positioned towards that catwalk. He should be hearing the rotation from Elige coming around as well right now. And it's going to be Stewie firing off, not able to find anything, but the retake is underway here for the CTs.
Yeah, flash for flash, but the CTs aren't really blinded by that one, so now it's going to be only Freakazoid. The bomb's out in front of him, and he's got a Molotov in hand. It lands, but it hisses out in the smoke, and Stewie's been defusing, and he's been taken out right across the top of the head from Elige. Stewie was just going to hang on to that bomb anyways, regardless of how that played, considering he was in the smoke. So Liquid are able to quickly rebound after Ghost was starting to make a threat and make their presence known. They had gotten that one round under their belts, but Liquid managed to come back into that with some pistol armor, stealing the rifles away.
Yeah, that was a very scary round for, Liquid in general. They're losing all those members on B, but actually when Wardell gets left in that B bomb site alone, that's really when the round starts to swing in Liquid's favor. His teammate who was upper B actually could have protected him from Elige, who was wrapping around the site, but instead the audible's called, they move the bomb back to A, and Elige is able to pick up that AK after taking down Wardell, which he then uses in the late part of the round to take down Freakazoid towards the connector. So a nice round out of Liquid. Unfortunately, the audible call from Ghost Gaming didn't work out in their favor.
Yeah, not this time. But Ghosts are actually going to buy back into this round. Again, shortchanged. They just keep sensing that there's weakness from Liquid. Of course, Liquid got a little bit of a freebie stealing rifles from that previous round, only investing in pistol armor. So they had a little bit of an extra cash influx for themselves. So Ghosts are pretty much into a pretty heavy gamble right now, holding Neptune and Steel to deagles, but Wardell does have his first op. On the other side, though, Stewie does have his first. Oh, what a peek from Elige. A gift handed to him as Kusta just enters the frame of mind for Elige as well, and his mind has been blasted out. 5-3 right now, and there's no look back for Ghost. They don't have any opportunity for a trade, just how quickly that execute was.
Looking at Ghost right now, they're going to have to slow down this round, Dallas. Not really much opportunity to get anything going here. It will be Steel moving right under this window while the bomb tries to meet him towards this middle area. Neptune has lurked his way towards the end of halls here. And it's going to be Wardell getting one kill onto Elige, but he's got plenty of work cut out for him if he wants to let this round unfold.
Yep, that's a nice little revenge kill, but look how much time it's cost Ghost so far. Ghost had a lot of problems with the clock yesterday, and it might still be the same story. They're in mid with sub 20 seconds, and they don't know which way to go yet. A is going to be the choice, the flavor of the day, but you've lost 2, and you've lost all 3 instantaneously. Naf and Stewie die right at the gates of Connector, and then the last one coming out of Palace is toast. But that was Ghost, their hand being forced by the clock.
Yeah, nice round out of the Liquid side once again here. Here's Elige pushing this smoke. He actually gets a gift with that second kill, and that's what really puts them in the driver's seat for that round there, Dallas. At that point, we do see Wardell pick up a frag towards the top of Connector onto Elige, but other than that, Ghost not being able to really open up anywhere else on the map.
So Ghost with, man, they just continually are investing in every round, it seems. and we're into round 6. So max loss bonus will be into Ghost's favor on the conclusion of this round, I anticipate. Double op for Liquid right now as they steal that rifle or that weapon from Wardell previously. Kusta is the only player with a weapon, and he is quickly trounced. Stewie getting down in there, looking with his scope downrange through the tunnels, knocking out Kusta. The AK is recovered by Steel, but he as well is wounded quite heavily.
Yeah, Wardell actually takes a huge nade as well. He's down to 10 HP here as Steel gets tagged just a little bit and puts him on 12 right now. The majority of the Ghost Gaming players down by this bottom connector with the bomb on Wardell hanging out by the top mid area.
Execute could happen at any moment. I see Neptune climbing up through connector. Twist is there. He's watching both Palace, A main. He's got a lot of responsibility right now. Exposed himself to connector for a short while, but Elige is actually on top of the ticket booth giving that support at range. So Twist now been spotted, but it's a mere block. It's just annoying to him right now.
It's a BB gun.
Yeah, Neptune falls back. And what I'm looking at right now, this is a different Ghost Gaming. When we had seen them play prior in the days before, they've been a confident team. But right now, it's usually a team that's very creative on their strats, but it's looking a little bit like they're running out of ideas already, and it's only the 6th.
Yeah, the fast B hit right now. A great shot from Naf there to take down Wardell. And Liquid onto 5 rounds already here very quickly towards this first half right now. And that's just because of the way Ghost has been playing on their T side, moving very quickly towards middle. We've already seen 2 or 3 B rushes out the B apartments already. So, I mean, Ghost Gaming letting this half just go very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the rounds are going the distance. I mean, they're going into sub 20 or mid 20s before they think about executing. But that's why I feel like they're not as confident as they were in the days prior, because sometimes we see Ghost execute with just a rounding effort. Freakazoid sprinting into the site. That's bomb as well. That was a very risky predicament, taking the bomb and putting it on your entry fragger. 4v1, and Steel has just a deagle. And I had said that they're on max loss bonus. They invested into this round again, but it's how many times have we seen Ghost actually have a full buy? It's always some rifles and a pistol or 2 in there.
Yeah, I do imagine at this point now, after losing this round, they will go on to that full save and really start building that economy up, because at this point, Liquid, well, they've bolstered their wallets very well right now. They've got plenty of money in their pockets. Ghost Gaming really can't contest this in hopes to break their economy.
Yeah, a couple rounds ago, I'd say 2 rounds ago, I thought it was going to be a Ghost save, but they bought. This next one has to be a save, right?
Ooh.
Nice shot from Steel. I still don't think he can manage to pull this one in. His position's known. The bomb's been well controlled by Liquid for some time now. 45 seconds, and Steel has a Molotov that chews up the territory in front of him, and he's worried about a flank coming his direction. So if this ends up being 6-1, which it will, and then 7-1 is what I anticipate before Ghost are able to get a nice rifle round under their belt. But that's what they need to do, is save enough money so Wardell can play his own game, so your Freakazoid can have his game with his rifle. But it's just a lot of these rounds have been almost looking like half buys from Ghost.
Yeah, they're just trying to get involved in the game. They're just trying to break the economy the entire majority of this the first half of this first half, basically.
First quarter.
First quarter of, yeah, okay, there you go. But as we move into the 8th round now, we are going to see Ghost. This will most likely be their full save. We might see some pistols being bought up Dallas, but they really just got to take their time to slow it down. Moving very quickly within every round, losing members very early on as well is not where they want to be here against the Liquid side.
Yeah, another aspect to this is, for example, when we saw Elige pop out of mid and through connector and get that double kill immediately, another aspect that Ghost haven't been able to play their own game is that Liquid have gotten the first entries very, very early in the rounds.
Yeah.
And what that does is suddenly Ghost aren't able to execute the way they want to. Somebody else has to pick up for a fallen comrade's role, is responsible to do something more with less grenades on the team. They can't get that full execute on the A if they want. But man, it's looking tough for Ghost so far. Even though it's only 6-1, it is a CT-sided map, but you haven't seen any shining light.
No, we haven't, but hopefully after this eco round that I do believe they're going to be going into here, we will see them start picking up rounds right now, and it does look like Ghost actually going for a little bit of armor buy. Not a bad idea either, as that Mercy money's starting to build up in their pockets, Dallas, so they will be able to buy out next round regardless, and this is a good attempt to maybe get one on the board earlier than that.
There's a rush B. What a flash. I'm surprised Naf didn't get a collateral in there. Lining up the next shot, no scope, looking for the third as well. He swings a bit too far right on that one, but Nitro's there to pick up the pieces, and he'll soon be there to pick up the off as well that was dropped. Kusta's last man standing has a bunch of gunfire coming his direction, but the last one was Elige on the long flank. Well done by Liquid to keep a rushing Ghost out of the sight.
Yeah, Ghost Gaming taking it very quickly once again, and they're completely punished for it by that Liquid hold. Some great shooting from Naf. I really like the fact that as soon as he takes that shot towards upper B, he drops off the platform, drops a Molotov under the window, so anybody jumping out would take a lot of damage as well. Then he's able to get a very nice no-scope as Nitro rotates in and picks up 2 of his own. Great round out of Liquid.
Okay, here's the real good full buy, and if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the rare ones from Ghost on full. They've got Wardell's op. Everybody's got utility up there too, but they have double op to get across between Naf and Stewie. That's in mid, and I believe, yes, Stewie solo on the B site this time, so the default from Liquid changes after having that B rush up there too, so Liquid are probably not anticipating any more pressure towards the B site this quick. Steal towards this B platform. This is the smoke I was talking about in the pregame.
Yeah, he's going to lurk himself out now. Stewie, I do believe he has an inkling about what Steele is up to here, and it's actually going to be Naf to take him down. There is one more member in Kusa towards this upper B area, but he's solo now, so if he goes down, that's going to be a 5-on-3 advantage here, going to Liquid once again.
Well, Stewie did just jump and drop at bench. Kusta knows where he is at. If he can manage to time it, he might be able to open up this B site, and he does just that. Well played. Now you're going to start to see Liquid rebound out, and in the rebound, Neptune catches a kill over towards A, where the execute is going to be happening anyway. Kusta is selling this as well as he can towards the B site. As a matter of fact, he's got 2 players that were over towards the market in CT, leaving Twist all alone with an M4, but he's signaling that, hey, the bomb's going down on this site, bring it back this way. However, Liquid have to worry about what's going on at CT. They know that Kusta was back there. Instead, he's come back around and likely to come up through connector shortly enough. Wardell finds that next kill. Nitro and Naf doing as best as they can, but Nitro only man standing. Wardell picks up the last 3 as fast as you could reload that gun. 7-2 offsuit. It's not looking too hot for Ghost, but that was a nice little turnaround at the pace with a real good full buy and a real good round for them.
Yeah, essentially in that round, you have Steele starting it off, working towards that B site. He's not able to really get much going, but off Kusta's pick, the second person towards that upper B, Ghost Gaming start moving towards that connector where they find themselves getting another kill, then flooding into that A site. And because you had Kusta, who was on the catwalk and controlling essentially that window room, Team Liquid forced to go all through CT. Elige now finding 2 kills very early on here on Neptune and Kusta.
And I love that Elige keeps getting these double kills and then just disappearing. There's no chance for the trade. He just vanishes and goes to take that repeat back, but nobody's home. You don't expect somebody like Elige to get multiple double kills in mid round after round. And now we're back into that spot where Ghost are going to have to try and execute without everybody. You've got a spot where now it's Wardell, Steele, and Freak. You've got no smokes on those players, not a one. What do you do with this?
It does look like Ghost right now. Well, they're going to be moving down towards this middle, most likely going for the mid boost right now. But it depends on whether or not Liquid are actually going to force back this middle. It doesn't look like they are, so Ghost will be drifting closer to this window area. Steele actually going towards lower to clear it out. Great idea out of him to make sure that they have enough room to play with the map here, make sure nobody's flanking them. And it does look like Bomb actually will be on the catwalk getting ready to head up towards the B site.
Oh, nice should have been an easy kill for Naf, but finally a crack has shown in the wall of Liquid, but it's been turned right back. Elige, after getting some kills with the AUG early, has now been traded to an AWP, considering he was low HP. B site, that's where Steele is, and he's got a great shot against Stewie. And still working in, but the bomb's now down on catwalk with reinforcements now on the way. Everybody abandoning the A site, trying to converge on Steele before he's able to take down the initial defender. So Nitro Sure, he was the only man here initially, so he stayed hidden, baiting out more and more time. So Steel being left alone at 8 seconds would have to stick this bomb, but he doesn't know Elige is on site.
Yeah, Elige finding a very easy kill there onto Steel, who was forced to plant the bomb. Maybe a little bit more time there would have given Steel the opportunity to tap the bomb and start looking for an extra kill. Unfortunately, with only 8 seconds, as you mentioned, by the time he got into the site, he did have to get that down, and in doing so, well, Elige is going to pick up his 4th of the round. A very nice round for Elige there.
Yeah, I mean, we had so many standout performances from Liquid individually in the past 2 days. Twist comes to mind, Naf comes to mind, and now Elige is starting to have his day as well. He's at 15-4. Popping off.
Definitely doing a great job here early on. Ghost Gaming right now looking like they just want to hang out in T-spawn for a little bit, letting the mid control happen for the Liquid side, and now they're going to throw their top mid smokes. And it does look like it's only Freakazoid to head out in this area.
Oh, got the AUG in mid. Twist is supporting out here. Freak, you said, was the one that was to pop out top. He does take almost 50 damage. And the utility for Ghost is, again, getting a little bit thin. I saw a handful of smokes go out, like you said earlier, but they've still got 3 left to speak of.
Yeah, Nitro's actually made his way towards the front of B tunnels here, and this is massive for him, Dallas, just off the sheer fact that he's able to communicate to his team, look at all the space we have, nobody's executing on this area, they're most likely coming towards that A site, and that's looking like it's exactly what they're going to be doing. Elige, as well as Twist, set up for this rush as we pass the 50-second mark.
It's a little bait. Twist is going to intentionally show himself here and drop a Molotov, or even preemptively so, right at the 45-second mark. But Twist really is going to be pairing up with Elige so that Twist can run off and Elige can shoot them in the back, just making quick work of him. He's tucked into that corner, over towards those B apartments. There's the first Q. Fighting on both fronts. You've lost Steel and Kusta, usually the 2 players that are lurking for the company, but it's Neptune ducked underneath that. That was just great vision from Twist right there. We haven't even really seen Elige come out of his little hidey hole. Now Twist turns 180 degrees back, catches a T. That was Freak that managed to come up through connector undetected at the time, and suddenly Wardell is going to get pushed, I would expect. There's plenty of money in the bank accounts for Liquid. Actually, not so. Man, it's been so many rounds in a row, but they hunt anyway, and they hunt safely. Nobody dying. A perfect round for Liquid, and Ghost Gaming again laid flat.
Yeah, definitely just an unfortunate round for Ghost Gaming there. You saw Steel trying to work his way towards the front of those B tunnels while Ghost Gaming started off that execute towards A, but Nitro was pushed for so long within those apartments areas, he's able to pick up an easy frag, and at the same time, we mentioned that double stack towards the A ramp, the little bait and switch setup that Liquid was doing, they're able to pick one off during that as well. It's a fairly easy round for the CT side.
Okay, now you're starting to slip behind the par for the course if you're Ghost. They need to be able to win a handful of rounds here. I think they need to get to 5, and to be able to get to 5, you're basically going to have to win out from this point. They've got another full buy. They do not have the AWP, though, for Wardell. They were just short on that. Neptune with a dry peek. That does surprise Twist, but Elige gets another double kill to start the round. He got A main, and then he turned back to Neptune. So we've seen the Liquid players. It doesn't matter who it is, whoever's on A site, they've got their head on a swivel.
Stewie now taking down Freakazoid towards this middle area. Kusta towards a ramp. Not really finding too much. He's just trying to look through that gap on the smoke, but nobody from the Liquid side is giving him anything here as Steel looks to work his way out B tunnels and maybe find an opener for his side.
Almost caught Twist jumping up on top of the box. Almost. But look how separated they are. And interestingly enough, the bomb, I believe, has been spotted by Liquid. And you still lose your defense over towards that B site, or at least your attacker. You had Ghosts that were split up. They're going to be back down to a little bit of a half buy. They've been on max loss bonus for quite some time at this point. But a 10-2 score line so far getting late into this half is starting to look pretty grim.
Yeah, so Ghost end up looking for that walkout A halls, and they actually end up catching Twists, I do believe, with his nade out there. But the thing was, Liquid playing that bait and switch setup whichever site they go towards, and that's when Elige is able to pop out and find those 2 halls players looking at Twist, trying to pick up that frag, and that becomes an easy spray down for Elige in that moment there. So Liquid, another great setup towards the A bomb site, is going to pay off dividends for them as they move on to 10 rounds here.
Yep, it's starting to look like it's a grim state for Ghost. I don't know. Speaking of Ghost, every time I see Ghost Gaming, the only thing I can think of is like Gengar and Haunter.
Pokemon?
Yeah, dude. That's my favorite channel right there.
You know, in Canada growing up, as soon as 3 o'clock a.m. hit, like 2 or 3 of our channels would be that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We just ran out of programming in Canada.
Just drop it on them.
All right, and as freeze time comes undone, Ghost Gaming off that little bit of a pause here. We'll be looking for a couple more pistols, nothing really much else.
Those nades. Ouch, that hurts. And Stewie comes out of connector, so even though Freakazoid was able to escape the first player, he was getting back to that corner, trying to retreat. He didn't get all the way out of the vision from connector. That was just a little bit wider angle, able to see around the corner a bit more, and now you're down to just 2, just 1, just Kusta. Bomb spotted down there in the tunnels as well, so Elige will just post up, and you have another really successful rifle round against the anti-eco and Ghost Gaming, and NAF will be able to rebuy no problem. Plenty of cash on board. Nothing from Liquid can like really upset their economy. Now you got over $10,000 on both Twist and Elige. Stewie's okay. He's got 5,600, $5 grand on NAF, and 6,800 as well on Nitro. Doesn't matter what happens in these following rounds. They'll be able to buy.
And that's exactly where you want to be as you move towards the end of the first half here. You don't want Ghost to end up picking up this next round and then Liquid really struggling to buy. So plenty of money in their pockets here, like you just mentioned. Ghost Gaming will have that AWP on the back of Wardell, which actually found them success in that one round where he ended up getting that beautiful 3K towards the default box. But it will be Ghost Gaming moving towards lower B, running a little bit of a default, as we see more of Steel towards that B tunnel, is just lurking out, putting pressure on.
What's your high-low right now of Elige picking up a double kill in mid, right? He's done this multiple times.
I would not be able to tell you there, Dallas.
I mean, I think we got 2-to-1 odds. There's his first. And he falls back. Acts like nothing ever happened. Brushes the dirt off his shoulders, or what remains of Kusta. And it looks like it's a 3v5. Tough spot for Ghost. Again, they're in mid. They've been given a lot of territory in mid.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, dude, he does more than the double. Gets a triple down there in mid. No problem for Elige. 12-2, and it's starting to look like a lot of what we had seen Liquid do in the past couple days. I mean, they had done a, let's see, it was a 13-2 half against Lazarus. They did a 13-2 half against Complexity on Dust 2, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was 12-3, but this has been Liquid's game all week.
And I mean, going into this, the odds were heavily favored in the Liquid side, of course, being one of the more dominant teams in the world. But still, even for Ghost Gaming, this is a very lackluster performance coming out from them. I expected them to come out a lot stronger on their T side, but really being stopped by this Liquid wall, really anywhere on the map that they try to head.
That's right. Kusta's trying to play with a tiny, tiny, tiny hole in the back end of that smoke. Elige has already tucked himself into sandwich, and he rounds that corner just as Kusta gets off of that triangle, and it fades. Elige gets caught in transition. His body crumples over, and we finally got a pretty good entry looking like for Kusta coming in. He's smoked off Tetris, but it's going to be pretty obvious where he's going to be looking. Over the top of that one, catches Stewie just as he finishes off Steel. He'll be leading the team from the bench for the remainder of the half, and it is Nitro and NAF outnumbered 2-to-1 odds, now 4-to-1 odds, as Nitro stands alone. Now coming across NAF's body, he sees only one, and that's up on top of Palace, and he doesn't see much more after the flashbang completely blinds him. 12-3 half.
Yeah, Liquid, you got to be happy with that. Ghost Gaming, they've got their work cut out for them. Shout out to Elige coming out with 23 frags in that first half.
I mean, it does seem like quite often whoever's playing against Liquid has a pretty bad first half. However, that team does manage to pick up the last round of the half. We saw that yesterday a bit, too.
Yeah, moving into the second half, I'm going to have to say Liquid in the driver's seat here. Only a few rounds needed for them to pull this one off. Ghost Gaming, on the other hand, well, the mountain has gotten very, very steep. And as we look at these highlights, I do believe we're throwing to break.
We will. So let's take a quick break. Stick around. You'll see the second half for Ghost versus Liquid.
Dancing on my own when you spill that rum and coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And what if you did to make it stop? 'Cause baby, you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And what if you did to make it stop? 'Cause baby, you make me feel something.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Pro League. We've got the last day of our Group B. Right now, it's Liquid and Ghost on Ghost's map pick. If you're just now joining us, 12-3 trouncing. This is going to be a tough spot for Ghost. I don't even know if this pistol round has that much value to it, because as soon as Liquid have rifles, it should be all over, I feel.
Yeah, and looking at it right now, it does look like Liquid just playing off those odds. They're heavily favored in this matchup.
Really are.
And as this pistol round gets underway, it's actually going to be Bordel and Freak putting an end to that. A hit as Twist and Elige say, no, we want to battle right back in, and they're going to be able to take jungle control as the bomb goes down now in the A site.
This is similar to what we saw in the first pistol round, was that Ghost had a man advantage, and suddenly they ended up dropping the round, and the exact same thing happens this time towards the A site, and of course teams flipped over. But Betway had it an 8-1 odds on this one. That's a long shot.
Anything is possible, but I think Betway might have been right on this one.
Oh, I think yes, yes.
Liquid right now up 13-3 against the Ghost side. Ghost Gaming opting not to force up into this, and this is one of those moments where you actually are like, wait a second, we're used to seeing Ghost do this. What's the reasoning behind it? And I do imagine it's because we're so close to Liquid getting 16, they at least want to try for a full buy to keep themselves in this game. So a save, if they do come out with one, isn't the worst idea here.
Well, that's what plagued Ghost in the first half. There were a lot of instances where I'm like, they shouldn't be buying right now, and they'd buy repeatedly. And sometimes, yes, you can get baited into buying a handful of rounds when you've gotten a lot of kills and your opponent's economy is not good, but those weren't there confidently either. Like, you weren't knocking them down to one. It wasn't a 1v1 consistently where you could actually warrant a force buy every round.
No, Liquid was definitely having dominant rounds, and then towards the end of the half, the buys became more of a, let's say, all right, boys, let's get some pistols in our hands. Let's try and at least get a couple rounds on the board. If not, we'll get a full buy off because of the Mercy money. But it was just Ghost at that point, just trying to grasp at anything they could to get a round on the board. Look at the Ghost Gaming lineup.
Big window stack. Gonna need to have that window cleaned here in a second. Stewie chatters a couple out, and Kusta's on the receiving end. Still everybody stands at that window. Everybody wants to have a peek. It's choked up by smoke right now. Are they just going to flood out of this? They're going to just waterfall this. The reverse waterfall strategy doesn't net anything. Freakazoid's last man in, and he's still heading the clouds.
He's been trying to jump out that window the entire time.
He can't find his way out. Where am I right now? 14-3. It's probably not too much longer. Speaking of long shot odds, I don't know if you're ever a gambling man yourself when it comes to horse racing. Me being from Kentucky, horse racing is kind of a big deal.
You've invited me down there. I haven't been down there yet.
Oh, the Kentucky Derby's coming up. First Saturday in May. It's coming up shortly.
I'm
going
talk
for sure.
All right. Right now, Ghost Gaming, they've got their buy going on. Liquid with a very fast A hit, looking to end this one quickly here as Naf Molotov's the ticket booth pushing back Neptune. We are going to see Liquid moving into this A site fairly uncontested.
Yep. Neptune's still waiting for this one to extinguish. Kusta's looking to the bottom connector. He's going to see the Freak's there. Hello. Just giving you a little confidence boost there, Freak. A little bit of miscommunication, but that's been the storyline, it seems, so far from Ghost in this first map. And it's only going to get more difficult, you would expect, because it's going then soon to Liquid's map pick of Dust 2. But bombs planted, 5 alive for both teams, and still Ghost are starting to encroach on the site. Everybody's a little bit weary about peeking into this. You've got 2 Ts lined up, knocked down by Twist. Looking good. It's a 5-on-1. Wardell has the op, but look who's in excess. You had 2 players on the T side that worked a flank, Elysian and Naf. That's how many resources they had in excess, and they were willing to risk.
Yeah, and that's just due to the fact that Ghost Gaming on that A bomb site not able to pick up any entries there. Neptune being forced to fall back, the rotators coming in through connector not being able to pick up anything either. So Liquid head into that site with 5 players up, and at that point they're like, well, we can move some guys out of this site, put them into the lurk positions, and that's exactly what they do.
Okay, could be the last round. Likely is. Ghost are dealing with very, very weak rifles and weapons. There's a scout single firing out there, actually tags Nitro up for good 70 damage. It's a good start. And Freak is able to get underneath that nade and get his way up towards the ladder room quickly. So the default stance right now for Ghost is a little bit heavier presence in mid. They've got Kusta here, they got Freak on the opposing side at Catwalk, and then right behind Kusta is Wardell. So they can react to mid presence, which is actually exactly what Liquid are doing right now. They can at least get some stiff resistance right out of the gates.
Does look like Elysia's getting ready to peek this connector area. Actually just falling back here, allowing his teammates to re-smoke middle. I do imagine that they'll be getting ready to split onto that A bomb site. We do have a lurk over towards the B bomb site from Twist, and there's Elysia right now, striking, taking down Wardell as Nitro takes down Freakazoid and makes it a 4-on-3.
Yep. That was a 2-for-1. The thing is, Ghost weren't able to recover any weapons from that. If they were able to get an AK from that, then yes, it would be worth it. But you can't expend what little you have right now for the cost of only Mirage Elysia, even though he's the player that's been popping off today, currently 27-8.
Yeah, Steel is aggressed through those B tunnels there, and he actually gets caught off by Nitro. A lot of damage being done to him, and in the meantime, Neptune makes his way through this T side of apartments right now. So he's set up very well to actually get some information, get a hold going. But Liquid sending nobody towards halls. They're out the A ramp.
Good molly too. They don't even spend the time going up into the palace. And Nitro's going to plant his bomb. Neptune.
Stewie's watching this.
Well, Neptune's he can strike from the rear very quickly. Stewie is eyeballing it, and Ghost again backs against the wall. They've got to go for this one, but possibly likely going to end up buying the farm. Neptune and Steel. Well, actually, sorry, it's going to be Kusta and Steel that are coming across through CT, and they're just waiting. Neptune's waiting for the contact over here at Ticket Booth. 2-for-0 for Stewie, even though he took a dink, and now they spam towards Neptune. They'll catch him in the smoke, and it is a 16-3 first map. How can you summarize that one for us?
Elysia going 27-8 should sum it up well enough for us. Just complete domination from the Liquid side there. I mean, right from the get-go, Ghost really struggling to even